What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and I'm back. Let me tell you guys, I went MIA for a couple days, mainly because, my fucking computer broke. And for all of you guys in the comment section saying, Goblin, where's Rehab Part 7? Dislike, unsub, doses. Well, listen, alright? I don't know how you could possibly expect me to upload Rehab Part 7 without my computer. I don't know if that just didn't process with you guys. I got comments on the RIP computer video saying, Goblin, where the fuck is part 7? Listen, motherfuckers, alright? Patience is key, alright? I had this bitch overnighted so I can make videos ASAP. Be grateful, motherfuckers. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you do. And also, another thing I want to mention is I had to remake all my graphics. I didn't save anything on an external hard drive or anything like that, a flash drive, any shit like that. So my thumbnails may look slightly different. I remade the Rehab thumbnail template, and I also do not have my Snapchat overlay currently, so that little slide in that says to add me every single video is going to be absent this video. But don't stress it. Next couple videos, it should be back. I'm going to make a new one because besides my overlay and my channel theme, thumbnail-wise and pretty much everything else graphic related, I do myself. So, I kind of got to get back to that. I make the thumbnails myself, so I gotta fix up that template. I add a little flair to it, a little snazz to it, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, like I said, drop a like if you guys do enjoy, and let's dive into it. So, Rehab Part 7. Now, in Part 6, I left off where we kind of summoned the ghost and some spooky shit happened, and it was just fucking wacky, it was fucking wacky. It was spooky, and things only got spookier from here on out. But before I get into the whole ghost shenanigans, this day in particular, and like I mentioned in either the last episode or the episode before that, I'm not really going to be going by days anymore. I'm just going to be kind of talking about events that happened. So each video is going to be kind of like a different little mesh of stories, instead of here's day 42, next video will be day 43. So there's 50 fucking parts. No, that'd be ridiculous. So we're just going to do, little stories of what happened in each video. And they're not always going to be in chronological order either. I try my best to keep them in chronological order, but there's some parts that just make more sense to say, I guess closer to one another, move them ahead in the queue of stories, I guess you could say. So now that that's all clarified, let's actually dive into it. So in the last episode, part 6, for those of you who remember, I talked about a guy named Sam who brought up that whole nutting in the shampoo joke that I made and asked if I was for real about it. And I sarcastically said yes. I was fucking with him because I thought nothing of it. I was like, whatever, what the fuck's gonna happen with this? Shit really hit the fan after I said that yes. I reflected on this a lot. I really wish I could have gone back and said no. But I don't have a time machine, I don't. So, shit really hit the fan. But anyways, basically within 4 or 5 days after me saying that to Sam, the entire unit, all 30-something motherfuckers that were on my unit had found out. Literally everybody. There was not one person who did not know. There was a guy who was there for 2 fucking days and he already knew. This shit was ridiculous. Now, the part that kind of got skewed, it's kind of in an elementary school when you guys would play telephone, and the back of the, the person at the back of the line would get the message and then they have to pass it all the way up to the person in the front. That's kind of what happened in this scenario. I'm going to adjust my pop filter here. All right, there we go. I'm getting a new pop filter soon, guys. I noticed that, whenever I say the letter P, there's a loud ass pop, but I'm working on it, guys. Be patient with me. But anyways, so it's kind of like a game of telephone, with rumors, and especially how this story spread, where it kind of took 2 forms. After I told Sam about this, and I was like, yeah, I totally did it, dude, when in reality I didn't, he went and told God knows how many people, and God knows how many people told another God knows how many people. It was just a complete clusterfuck, everyone, but the funniest part is no one ever came up to me and asked me about it. They all just talked to each other about it. They were sneak this and fuck them all, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, there was kind of 2 iterations of this story that got spread across the unit. There's one part of the unit who thought that I pissed in his shampoo, and then there was the other one who thought I nutted in the shampoo. Now, what was left out of both of these stories is that it was a joke. That was apparently left out of both of these stories. And once it kind of started to spread like wildfire, my roommates, Sean and Zach, kind of tried to control the fire. Actually, I think it was just Zach. I believe Sean got discharged at this point, but I'll get to that later on. I'm pretty sure he got discharged a couple days after the events of the last video. But anyways, so it was mainly Zach kind of trying to control the fire, telling people like, yo, it was a joke. But, because not shit ever really happens in this facility, like nothing entertaining. We don't have outside access, don't have Twitter, don't have social media. If there's any gossip, motherfuckers don't even care if it's a joke. Like, they don't give a shit. They're just going to talk about it. They're going to spread it. They're going to do whatever the fuck they got to do to entertain themselves. So as soon as everyone else had found out, I already knew, this is over. And the worst part is I didn't find out that this had been spread until maybe 3 days after the whole unit knew. Literally everybody, there was not one person there who did not know, on my unit at least. So this shit was fucking crazy. I guess you could say it was nutty. Oh, fuck yeah, that was funny as shit! Anyways, back on topic. So, the whole unit basically knew at this point, and I was just sitting there kind of wondering why everyone would give me dirty looks all the time. I would just be sitting in the lounge watching TV, and motherfuckers would just stare at me dirty as fuck. Now, the one person who didn't know about this joke, I said the whole unit earlier, I fucking lied. The one person who didn't know about this joke that I made was Kyle, the man who the joke was directed towards. He didn't know yet. Nobody told him. Everyone talked about it amongst each other, but nobody had told him as of yet. Now, he did end up finding out. Maybe a day or two after this, someone, I don't know who, but somebody went and told him. And shit just hit the fucking fan. Somebody went and told him, and Kyle is a snitch. Kyle will tell anything. Literally, if you say a cuss word, Kyle will go tell the staff. This had happened almost every single night in a room. We'd be saying we'd be cussing, talking about, stupid shit. I don't want to say inappropriate shit because we're damn near adults. What the fuck? But, in one night in particular, after we had, summoned the ghost, I remember Sean was in there talking about how he felt really cold. And then Zach was like, maybe the ghost is on you. And then Sean is like, yeah, it's probably a sexy ghost. And he started fucking humping his covers, just fucking the air and thrusting. And he was like, dude, she's tight as fuck. And Zach's like, really, bro? How is it? And I'm just laughing my ass off. And he's like, dude, she's tight as hell. And he starts going oh, just letting out the most ungodly fucking sex noises. But anyways, so on that night, when we were doing that, of course, guess who comes to save the day? Kyle walks out of the room and goes and tells the staff what we were doing. And before he walked out of the room, he tried to tell us to stop doing that. He tried to be like, yo, stop, that's inappropriate. We should change the subject. And basically everyone just told him to fuck off. You're all just like, fuck off, Kyle. Fuck you. We don't like you. And he got really upset and went and told the staff, which was just a pussy move in my opinion. It was fucking ridiculous. He basically had to be babysat by the staff 24/7 because he just couldn't handle anything on his own. He was just trying to white knight his way out of this facility, and it didn't work. But anyways, so back to the whole nut in the shampoo thing. So, he'd eventually found out about this joke, and of course he went and told the staff. He went and told them immediately. Now, the part he left out, as well as everyone else, is that it was a joke. So now the entire staff team literally gathers and has a meeting about this. All the staff, every level, the counselors, the manager of the unit, each unit had their own head or manager or whatever you want to call it. And then they had the staff that were called techs, which were the dudes who would just walk around and talk to you and check on you. Literally every staff member on the unit had a meeting about this. They had a fucking staff meeting about this joke that I made because they didn't know it was a joke either. They thought I actually did it. So they have this staff meeting and they lay low for a couple days and don't say anything to me. So at this point, I had no clue the staff had known. I didn't know yet. A couple days later, I did find out. But anyways, so, I'm walking around the unit, and the next morning, we have these little things called 5-2s where before every mandatory thing like breakfast, lunch, and dinner and gym time and all that, we have to show up and meet in the middle lounge, everyone on the unit 5 minutes early and just sit there in silence. It's fucking stupid. But for the morning 5-2, we had to be down in the lounge before 5 minutes before 7:30 because we woke up. We were supposed to be down there and awake at 7:30, but we had to be down there technically at 7:25. But anyway, so 7:25 rolls around the next morning and I'm sitting there in the lounge and there's this employee there named Bruce. Now, Bruce is a cool motherfucker, so this really hurt me personally. So, this is basically the physical the physical version of subtweeting, the real life version of subtweeting. He gives this little speech during our 5-2 about how we shouldn't be doing inappropriate things and bullying on the unit. Now, that struck a chord with me. I don't like being accused of being a bully. That I take that personally. I really do. That pisses me off, quite frankly, So he said this, and he glared at me the whole time, and I knew the whole unit knew about this. So this is kind of when I caught on that the staff had known. I hadn't directly been confronted by any staff members, but at this point I had caught on. I was like, okay, they know what the fuck is up. They definitely know what the fuck is up. Like, they heard about this shit, just like shit. So I'm sitting here and Bruce is just staring at me the whole time and literally like dead eye contact the entire speech he's giving. And he finishes it up. It's like maybe 2 minutes after 7:30 and he's like, all right, go do your room and group jobs, which is where, you clean the group area and then you clean your room. But I go and do that, go about my day. Everything's cool. Everything's A-okay. So, oh God, this just gets really ugly after this point. So, we have lectures, every like Wednesday, and I believe it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have lectures, and it's Wednesday on this particular day. I believe it's Wednesday, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm sitting in the lecture, and one of the techs named Jay comes in and pulls me out. And, I figured maybe my counselor just wanted to see me about some shit or something like that. But deep down, I knew what was about to come. I knew what was about to happen. So he leads me to this upstairs room that's like right next to my room, and it's this big like group room. And this is typically where all the staff meetings are. And I knew that at this point. I knew that. So as soon as I walked up to this, I knew what was about to happen. I was 90% positive. So they pull me into the room, and all the counselors and the manager guy are sitting there all across from me. It's like an episode of fucking Shark Tank. It's ridiculous, It's like I got to present my product and see if they'll bite, But anyways, so I'm sitting across from them and I sit down and like at this point my face is just beet red. I'm just like, oh fuck, like shit, And they're looking at me, and the head honcho, we called him Optimus. His name was Tim, but get it? We called him Optimus because Tim is in Optimus. But anyways, so Optimus is sitting across from me. And he looks at me, and he's like, hey, how are you doing? And just starts it off real casually. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. How are you? And he's like, good. And Optimus does this thing whenever he's upset where he crosses his legs and scratches his goatee. That's what he does every single time. So he crosses his legs, all right. And he starts scratching the fuck out of that goatee. Let me tell you, he must have had the itchiest goatee on the fucking planet. Like, it was ridiculous. So he looks at me and he's like, do you know why we pulled you in here today? And I'm just like, oh, God. Oh shit. And I pretend I play dumb. I'm like, no, what could this be? I just don't know. I figure maybe like, I don't know, maybe they found my spank bank in my room because, since we weren't allowed to have porn or Playboys or anything like that, we could go through like People magazines and cut out bikini ads and shit like that. But anyways, so I'm sitting there right across from him and he's like, well, we've heard about this little shampoo incident. And as soon as he said the word shampoo, I knew it. I was just like, oh fuck. Oh shit, I'm about to get fucked in the ass. They're about to bend me over and shove every object in this room up my rectum and force me to speak. I was just like, this is the end. This is it. I'm getting discharged. I'm fucked. I'm going home. This is it. I'm done. So, he says that and he just gives me this look, and all the other counselors give me this look, and I'm just like, shit. So, I tell him, I was like, oh, well, I made this joke. I made this inappropriate joke. It was just a joke. I didn't actually do it, yada, yada. And, they're all kind of staring at me, and they're not buying my shit. I can just tell, like, I'm not spewing shit at this point. I'm being honest. I'm like, yeah, I just made a joke. I didn't intend for it to go this far, my bad. And they're staring at me, and they believe I did it. I knew deep down they all believed I did it. You can just tell when someone thinks you're lying. In almost every conversation, you can just tell when someone thinks you're lying. And I looked at these people, and I knew they thought I was fucking lying. I knew it. I could see the looks on their little faces. I could see that chin scratch going crazy. He was like, let me see if you guys can hear me scratching my chin. Just literally rapid fire scratching. Like, it was nutty. It was fucking insane. So, I finish explaining my side of it, and they don't say anything. They literally don't say anything. They're just like, all right, thank you. You know, you can go back to lecture. So at this point, it's like 5 minutes, before the end of lecture. And I'm pissed. I'm pissed at this point. I'm like, all right, this motherfucker for real snitched on some dumb shit. Like, god damn it. And he didn't think it was a joke. Nobody told him it was a joke at this time. So I don't necessarily blame him for snitching, but still fuck him either way. But anyways, I don't even go back to lecture. I just go in my room and just sit down. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And as I'm walking back to my room, I'm about to turn the corner, and I see Kyle walking up with Jay to go into the staff meeting that I just walked out of. So at this point, my heart kind of drops. I'm like, he's going to spill every bean he fucking has. He doesn't have a can of beans. He doesn't have a truckload of beans. He has a fucking NASA space station full of beans. He has Jupiter full of beans. This guy's got a lot of fucking beans to spill, and he's going to spill them all. And he did. We got caught for essentially everything wrong we'd ever done in that room. But I'll get into that in the next episode. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. And also, don't forget to hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on PSN, send me some mail to my P.O. box. That'll all be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.